On a dark night, a tired and sleep-deprived man was driving alone on the road. He was on a solo journey along the highway, with his eyes straining to see ahead as he moved slowly. However, something caught his attention suddenly. He noticed a small girl standing by the side of the highway, shrouded in an eerie silence. The man quickly pulled over and rushed towards the girl. She was wearing a white dress, and her hair was floating in the air. Her eyes were a horrifying shade of blue. The man approached, curious about why the girl was here. However, her eyes were vacant, conveying nothing. "Little girl, what are you doing here?" the man asked, but the girl offered no response, simply continuing to stare at him. Suddenly, the girl's form dissipated like a cloud of mist. Vanishing before his eyes, the man looked around in bewilderment, but there was no trace of the girl. He hurried back to his car and turned the key, but the vehicle wouldn't start. Feeling trapped inside the car, panic washed over the man. He took out his phone, but there was no signal here in the heart of the forest. He felt utterly helpless. The surroundings were enveloped in a foggy mist, and the man began to walk into the forest with each step. The mysterious and dark atmosphere of the forest closed in around him suddenly. In the distance, he spotted the small girl once more. This time, her face was even more terrifying. Her lips were bloodied, and her eyes were emptier than before. Terrified, the man took a step back, but the girl approached rapidly. When the girl's hand touched the man's arm, a shiver ran down his spine. Her vacant gaze penetrated deep into his soul. The ghostly figure of the girl began to circle around him, tormenting him with fear and dread. The man's screams echoed through the forest, but there was no one to hear his cries for help. After hours of this harrowing journey, the man finally managed to emerge from the forest. However, the ghost of the girl still haunted him. From that day on, every night, her ghost pursued him in his dreams, never letting him find peace. The man couldn't bring himself to share the terrifying experience he had in the forest that night with anyone, but he believed that he had fallen under a curse, encountering the ghostly presence of the little girl by the highway. And from that day forward, he could never truly find tranquility at night, as the ghost of the little girl continued to relentlessly pursue him. The enigma of the cursed forest would continue to disturb him for eternity. On a gloomy autumn evening, a group of 5 close friends gathered in the depths of a mysterious forest to celebrate Matt's birthday. Their years-long friendship had been reignited by the desire to surprise each other, but this surprise would turn into an unexpected horror adventure within the dark woods. When they arrived in the forest, the tree house they found appeared old and eerie. They decided that this place would be the perfect setting to make Matt's birthday memorable. However, the real prank was to tie Matt to a tree with laughter. They tied him up in front of the tree house and then ventured deeper into the forest. As night fell, darkness advanced rapidly, and the silence of the forest transformed into a sinister atmosphere. Left alone, Matt began to feel increasingly uneasy. The mysterious rustling of the bushes and the eerie moaning of the trees filled his ears and added to his discomfort. As the hours passed, strange events began to unfold around Matt. First, the branches of the trees started swaying mysteriously on a windless night. Then, horrifying shadows started to appear within the forest, as if the very spirit of the woods was taunting him. Matt's screams tore through the silence of the deep forest, but his friends had ventured further into the mysterious darkness, and there was no one to hear his cries for help. The tree to which Matt was tied suddenly began to sway, as if an invisible hand was pulling it. Matt felt as though he was being watched and pursued by something he could not see. In fear, he watched as obscure figures moved swiftly through the depths of the forest, closing in on him with a sinister intent. For a moment, cries echoed through the forest, and his friends rushed back in alarm. However, when they arrived, the tree was empty, and Matt's head disappeared. There was no trace left behind, despite the eerie echoes of his screams reverberating through the forest. His friends immediately reported the incident to the police, but the search yielded no results. Matt was never seen again, however, from that day forward. Strange occurrences in the depths of the forest escalated. During the night, Matt's desperate cries and the chilling presence of invisible entities were heard. This event transformed a birthday prank, initiated by friends, into a terrifying loss and the beginning of dark secrets. Hidden within the forest was no longer just trees and bushes. It concealed something strange and horrifying, something that waited in the shadows. Matt became a secret buried in the darkness of the forest, and this secret would continue to live on with him. Once upon a time, nestled deep within the heart of the woods, lay a forest veiled in darkness, mystery, and eerie legends. It was a place where strange sounds and unsettling sights could make even the bravest souls quiver. With fear, they said that those who ventured into this forest never returned. A group of intrepid friends, bound by curiosity and bravery, resolved to uncover the truth behind the enigmatic tales that shrouded this legendary forest. Armed with flashlights and compasses, they embarked on an adventure into the depths of the woods, eager to unravel its secrets. However, it didn't take long for them to realize that something peculiar lurked within the forest. The branches of the trees seemed to sway as if they were alive, brushing against them with an eerie, ghostly touch. The rustling leaves, carried by the wind, created sounds reminiscent of sinister, echoing laughter that sent shivers down their spines. The friends found themselves unable to provide rational explanations for these unsettling occurrences. At one point in their journey, they stumbled upon a chilling discovery, an ancient graveyard, and sealed deep within the forest's heart, the tombstones were weathered, their inscriptions legible due to years of neglect. Yet, one grave stood out, adorned with an old, worn-out porcelain doll. Despite its tattered appearance, the doll bore an unsettling, eternal smile. As the friends contemplated this eerie sight, a guttural, menacing laugh echoed through the trees, sending a chill down their spines. Turning around, they came face to face with a creature that defied explanation. It had gleaming eyes and an aura of malevolence that seemed to command the forest itself. Panicking, the friends fled deeper into the forest, desperate to escape the haunting laughter that pursued them relentlessly. But the woods were unforgiving, and they soon found themselves hopelessly lost, with no recognizable landmarks to guide them. Their voices of despair echoed in the silence, and their cries for help seemed to fade into nothingness. They never returned, and the forest, with its enigmatic secrets, swallowed them whole, leaving behind only chilling tales and unanswered questions. To this day, the forest remains veiled in mystery, a place where the boundaries of reality and the supernatural blur. No one has ever successfully uncovered its secrets, and the legends persist as a haunting reminder of the terror lurking within.